Hello inspiring Charitam fans. How are you doing? We bring stories that are unique and inspirational. This story is about a young couple. How does it feel when your girlfriend cheats with the person you hate? But how do you overcome it? Let's hear it. Robin was mostly raised in orphanages and foster homes. His childhood was far from being something meaningful. He had to suffer violence, abandonment, unwantedness, and so on. It was hard for him, but he survived. By the time he turned 18, he had seen the cruelty of the world. He wasn't a very confident man given the circumstances. He faced any anxiety attacks, but there was one thing about him. He was ambitious. He refused to accept that the fate of being unhappy or unworthy. Robin challenged everything to make things better. He worked hard after high school and saved up some money. He mostly stayed in the places where he worked. But one fine woman in the town and offered him to stay at her place. She was a single lady and was in her 60s. She didn't ask for the rent but instead asked him to help with the house chores. Robin was elated. He did more than asked for. Soon, after he started saving, he also contributed to the house. Mrs. Walder and Robin had an amazing friendship. All of a sudden, he found a person whom he could trust and speak to. Mrs. Walder knew a member of the local college, and they helped Robin to secure a student loan. He studied hard and was doing well. But life wasn't easy for him. He was bullied very badly in college. He wasn't a very well-built man. He had specs and didn't look like a model anyway. There was a guy in the college named Martin who bullied him every time he saw him, in the class, library, or on the street. He wasn't physically strong enough to fight Martin. Every time he came onto him, he avoided him. There was one person though who supported him and made him a stronger person, Ella. Ella was in the same class as Robin. She was sweet, smart, and beautiful. She saw how he was bullied and started protecting him. She even had few alterations with Martin. Slowly, Robin and Ella developed feelings for each other. Robin fell in love for the first time in his life. There was no person in the world who had loved him before. So, Ella was special to him in every way. She was his life. He tried to be strong for him. They became a name on the campus. Everyone knew that Ella and Robin were together. Their story brought smiles to many faces. Everything was great for the next 2 years. They were the strongest couple and they were planning for a future together. Mrs. Walder was very happy for Robin and even hosted Ella for any lunches and dinners. But after the summer break, something happened. Ella went on a trip with her friends. But after she returned, she was avoiding Robin. Robin kept asking her what was wrong. But she always told that there were some personal issues and family problems. For the next couple of weeks, she was hardly in college and classes. That was the last year in college. Since the time he started staying in Ogden, he grew fond of the Canyon Trail. He would spend hours with Ella there. There was an immense tranquility there. He often visited there after Ella stopped talking to him. He was just confused and heartbroken. One day he saw Ella arguing with Martin in college. He didn't get the conversation but it seemed there was something very serious. Ella had only interacted with Martin before when he bullied Robin, and this was different. Robin was furious at Martin when he saw Ella crying. He wanted to be the man to protect Ella as she fought for him. He immediately went and confronted Martin and asked him to back off from Ella. They both were shouting at each other and Ella tried removing Robin from the scene. But he was determined to fight for her. In a matter of few seconds, there were several punches landed on Robin. He fell to the ground, and Ella screamed. Robin came to his face, and said, "Whom are you fighting for? Your girlfriend was warming my bed and body throughout the trip. You are a loser and your so-called girlfriend realized that. She came to me for the things that you could not give. Now, she acts like she does not need it. You can be with her now and maybe learn some tricks that I taught her." He laughed at him and faded away from the teary eyes of Robin. Robin woke up in hospital after few hours. He saw Ella standing there crying. He saw a few of his classmates and Mrs. Walder sitting next to him. He started crying seeing Mrs. Walder. She comforted him and said everything will be all right. She informed that the police were informed and they are looking out for Martin. The college was also informed and they were taking the assault very seriously. After Mrs. Walder and others left, Robin asked the truth, Ella. She said she would talk to him later. Robin said there is nothing happening later, either she would tell him right then or he would never see her face again. Ella confessed everything. She said that Martin was pursuing her for months and she finally gave in to the urge. She went on a trip with him and for 7 days they did everything they could imagine like rabbits. She even had few threesomes with friends of Martin. But after she came back, she felt like poop. She didn't want to face Robin for what she had done. She hated herself for stooping so low. She cheated on someone who bullied and tortured her boyfriend for years. She soon realized that she was just a piece of meat for him to hurt Robin even more. She wanted to stay quiet for the last few days of the college and eventually was going to tell Robin everything after the exams. Robin cried silently. Then looked at her face and said, I was abandoned multiple times but was never betrayed. Because I never loved anyone to be betrayed. Thank you for this new experience. If you have any guilt for what you have done, then please never contact me ever again. I shall try hard to make you a bad memory. And, yes, tell Martin, that this time he didn't hurt me, he, in fact, helped me to take someone unworthy out of my life. Ella cried and begged for forgiveness. Robin eventually called for Mrs. Walder and asked her to keep Ella out of the room. The next few months were hard for him. Despite all these, he had to perform well in exams. He knew that there was only one person who was going to stand for him and that was him. Ella came many times in front of him and begged for forgiveness but Robin ignored her. Her betrayal story was also very popular in college. She earned that herself. Martin was jailed for the assault for some time, but eventually, he got out. He came to Robin to bully him again, but this time Robin shook his hand and told thank you. He had a smile on his face and told him that he would be thankful for taking the garbage out of his life. He can have the trash, he is better off without it. Something changed him. He stood for himself on that day. He realized that life is not fair. Evil things happen in life, but that does not stop you to aim higher. If something bad happens, that certainly means life has better prospects. Robin is now a very successful trader. He isn't a millionaire, but a very rich man. He is married to a very intelligent woman and is a scientist. They have 2 daughters together. They have a very decent life and a happy one. Robin did see Ella a few years back in New York for a brief moment. Ella looked at him in awe, he just smiled and left and didn't look back. Sometimes, we feel, we are stuck. Sometimes we fear the uncertainties that lie ahead. But nothing in life is certain, and that's life. If your partner can cheat on you, the next person can also do that. But why would you risk investing your energy in someone who has proven not to be trustworthy? Sometimes, it is best to separate yourself from the situation, because your spouse does not make you happy, you are happy because you want to be. What do you think about the story? Please share the feedback and your suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon to get a notification whenever a new video is uploaded. Please check the other videos in the channel too. Stay healthy and happy. Have a great rest of the day wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching.